For this season, we're going to try something new.
The surprises start now.
Oh, but he's sitting there acting like a little bitch.
I know, right? God.
Okay, I do the judging around here. That's my thing.
I went into it not even thinking I would even kind of like it. So to like love it, I just can't get over the feeling I had as I walked out. That feeling is just gold.
Oh my God, I forgot about that movie. It was on my list for so long.
Snyder the man then.
That's so funny, Liam.
Yeah. I can't
Still
wait
looks
for
like
next
David
year when we're all
Cassidy, though.
talking about the Ayer cut.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Council Season 4 premiere. This is so exciting. And it's also our first episode since our 1-year anniversary, so even more exciting. This is like our 1-year thing. And what we did for our very first episode of the Council, if you remember, was we shared our top 10 list of movies of the year for 2020. So we thought for today, we're going to share our top 5 lists for the year 2021 so far. And we're doing 5 because we don't want you to sit here for 2 hours listening to us babble on, because we like to talk. And let's meet the other council members. So usually we have 10 council members, but if you follow us on Twitter, which you should, for this season, we're going to try something new where we're going to reduce the amount of people per episode, so it makes it more enjoyable for you. So first off, we have Liam, who's going to be here every week like myself. God help
Hello,
us.
yes, it's me. God help you all, because I will probably be messy the whole time. I can't promise
that.
shit.
Yeah, I saw your Facebook and what you DM'd me. Oh.
Well, I
Okay.
didn't know. I didn't. I couldn't put it in the main chat because Constance
Well,
is there. Constance is a lady.
Yeah.
And Constance doesn't need to see what happened to me.
And I do. And speaking of Constance,
You were
she's
questioning
also
it.
here. So hello, Constance.
Hello, everyone. So nice to be back. This is exciting.
It's so exciting. I'm really excited. And I have a new setup. You have a new setup. This is amazing. We love that.
And I'm not finished yet. I don't know. Are we doing YouTube again?
We are.
Okay. It's gonna change a little. So I apologize that it's not fully. I should have had it operational by today. Apologies.
We're excited to see the progress. I think it's going to be fun. And then last but certainly not least, she is our new council host for season 4. This is your first like real episode, but I feel like you've been here the whole time because you've been doing all the YouTube and all that. So please welcome Destiny, everybody.
Hello. Excited to be here. And it does feel like I've been here like a while, so but I'm excited.
All right. So like Constance said, we're going to be doing YouTube. So if podcast ain't your thing, go to youtube.com/dumbmovielover. Once we reach 1,000, I'm going to change that. I swear, I hate it. But go subscribe, and then Saturday, on Saturday, we're going to release this video version, uncut, so you can see everything. And one thing you should see is Liam's t-shirt. Liam, stand up.
I'll get my breasts out for everyone. Ooh,
look at that.
Isn't
that
it
is
pretty?
Our first t-shirt of our new series for season 4. It is all of us on Zoom with our catchphrases kind of thing. So you can order that redbubble.com, link in the description. Yeah, it's great. I'm excited. All right, let's get started. Top 5 list. Who wants to go
Muddled
first?
the shit out of it.
You did. Well, since you had something to say about your shirt, why don't you go first, Liam? Number 5.
Okay. In my number 5, I went with something that I don't think's probably going to be in a lot of people's lists. I went with In the Heights.
Interesting.
Because I still am listening to the soundtrack basically daily. I just love it so much. Yeah, I thought it was well directed, well acted. I cried. I now sing along. I don't know Spanish, so I'm probably singing along wrong. But I enjoy it, so I'm going with it.
All right.
And that is me.
Awesome. Well, let's go with someone with taste now. Destiny, what's your number 5?
Okay, my number
Wait till you
5.
save me honorable mentions.
My number 5 is Black Widow.
There
this
we
is
go.
a hard choice, but I really love Black Widow. I love this movie so much, and I feel like now, I mean, a lot of people liked it when it came out. But I feel like now it's been kind of forgotten in the movie verse. But I just love this movie. I love the directing. I love, even though I still am just bitter that it took so long to get the movie itself, but I think it was so well made, so well acted, and I like the action. And it's like a movie that I still like. It's always on my mind when it's not something I was easily forgot. So I like it. My number 5.
Awesome. See, Liam, that's what a number 5 pick should look like. Constance,
Well,
let's
it's
keep this
not in
good
mine,
train
so-
rolling.
Oh, I'm going to make you regret saying that. My
Oh,
number
no.
5 is also in the Heights.
Ah, God damn it.
Boom! There it
And
is.
I'm gonna make you so sad because I thought it would be higher. I'm very shocked at this list. If you told me to make a list 6 months ago, what I think my top 5 was going to be, this is all kinds of different. I'm very surprised at myself. So the surprises start now.
Ooh. All right. Well, let's go with my number 5. My number 5 was Pig. This is the Nicolas Cage movie with Alex Wolff's in it too, about his truffle pig goes missing. It was a surprisingly really, really, really good movie. I was not expecting that from Nicolas Cage. He's made some really let's say interesting movies recently, but his performance was really good. The writing, the cinematography was beautiful. Cinematography is going to be a thing for all of my picks. I'm going to mention it because I think all the movies this year were really, really beautiful, even in the Heights. But it was kind of a movie that Pig was celebrated in the indie film community, but not a lot of people have seen it. So please watch it because it's good. So that's my number 5. Destiny, since you seem to be the only one with taste besides me, why don't you give me your number 4?
Look, I would like, before I get my number 4, and I did consider In the Heights. This is a very hard list for me to create. So
Yeah.
Liam, Constance, don't let you submit to you. In the Heights is great.
In fairness, In the Heights is in my honorable mentions. So
okay.
yeah.
Oh, but he's sitting there acting like a little bitch.
I know, right? God damn. Anywho, number 4. My number 4 is Judas the Black Messiah. I love this movie. I don't think you like it, Yousef, but I love it. I think a running theme of my movies, of my top 5, are just movies that really sit with me. I remember them. And since you mentioned cinematography, I love the cinematography in this film. I love the acting. I was just so moved by Judas the Black Messiah. So that's why it's my number 4.
Okay. Liam?
So I think Yousef won't be mad at this one. My number 4, if I remember correctly, to this being released, Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was best animated film of this year. I loved the story. I thought it was hilarious. It was nice to have LGBT representation without it, even though some critics said there wasn't, when no, there clearly was. She had a girlfriend. She was continuously wearing a rainbow flag throughout the full film. She was a lesbian, or bisexual, not judging, or pan, or asexual. I don't know, one of them. So yes, I picked that one because I was like, it's good, and it deserved to. I think it didn't. I don't think it deserved the push to Netflix. I think it should have stayed in cinema.
I agree. Seeing that on a big screen would have been really
good. Yeah,
really good. Yeah. And 3D, I hate 3D, but I think 3D for that would have been good.
We don't have any 3D here anymore. They just
Okay.
completely got rid of it because it's shit.
Yeah, fair enough. Constance, number 4.
All right. I thought this would be higher as well. Actually, my number 4 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. You might be surprised. So I was not on the bandwagon when it first came out. I did not think the cut existed. I thought this was just, fan wishing, whatever. So I was a doubter. The reason it's not higher is the length. Rewatchability is very important to me. Otherwise, this would be higher because it's beautifully made. I'm a DC girl. I love the darkness. I do like Snyder's aesthetic. It's not a flawless film. No film is flawless, really, but I love it so much. I do like the world building. I would love to see what the Snyderverse would be if they would just, let him keep going the way Feige has, a lot of control. So a lot of good stuff going on there. So that's my number 4.
Awesome. I suspect we will be hearing about that movie later on, Destiny. I don't know, maybe. Or my list, or Liam's, we never know. My number 4. My number 4, like Constance, I thought this was going to be higher because this was my number 1 film for a long, long, long time. And that's A Quiet Place Part 2. I loved this movie so much. I loved the first movie, and I was kind of getting worried when this one came out because it came out literally the day that theaters closed the first time, like way back in 2020. The advertising seemed okay to me. But I was so surprised when I finally saw the movie. And I saw the movie, I want to say about 4 times because I went to see it in a drive-in twice, and then I went to go see it in a movie theater twice. And all 4 times, I just was picking up different things that John Krasinski, was hinting at or appreciating different performances. I think Cillian Murphy, that's how you say it, right? This is the best I've seen him in. Like he was good on Peaky Blinders, but he was really, really good in this. Digimon Hansu was really good. Noah Jupe, who we love.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Put some respect on his name. 28 Days Later, bitch.
I've never seen that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, I do the judging around here. That's my thing. Noah Jupe, Emily Blunt, John Krasinski's cameo was good. The cinematography, again, was gorgeous. And the stuff that they do with sound was really, really clever. Like the fact that when the deaf girl, I forget her name, the audio completely cuts out until someone touches her. Like that, stuff like that makes me really appreciate this movie. So that is my number 4. Constance, why don't you give us number 3?
Okay, so I love your guys' list. I agree with Destiny. This is hard to make because I'm like, it's not what I think are the 5 top best made movies. Because this list will be very different. It's just like, okay, what made my heart happy, right? What brought me joy, or what made me go into a movie going, oh, this will be X, and really it was Y, and that's such a wonderful surprise. So my number 3 is actually Raya and the Last Dragon.
Ooh.
Because I have lost faith in Disney over the years. I feel like they've had more misses than hits. And I grew up with the Disney movies that had songs. I'm like, oh, if they don't have the songs, it's not Disney. That's not, what I want. This doesn't have a single song in it, but it's so beautiful. And it's such a good story. I like, again, I'm a mom of a girl. So I have this filter of what do I want her to watch? I want her to watch movies with, girls like this who they're not perfect. They're not chasing, they're not looking for a husband. They do have to learn and grow. And it is about finding a better part of yourself and realizing what you're doing to hold everything back and what you can do to make it better. I just think all that's really, really good. So because of what it does for me personally, this is my number 3.
Awesome. I completely forgot that movie came out this year, I'm going to be honest, but it was really, really, really good. Destiny.
Well, my number three is actually the same as Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh wow.
I almost forgot that this movie came out this year too because it was so long ago in my brain. But man, I love this movie so much. I feel like you just said everything I wanted to say. I love the animation. I love Raya as a main character. She became one of my top Disney people in general, characters in general. I just love the story. It was just a beautiful film. And even though I couldn't remember if it was this year, I had to check. It was so lingered in my mind. So I love Raya.
Awesome. Liam, is your number three Raya and the Last Dragon?
No, but I am on the Disney train.
Okay.
Mine is Cruella. Because I enjoyed that film. I put it as my number one for the live action reimaginings. Mainly because the acting was amazing. Emma Stone was fantastic. Emma Thompson was just deliciously evil. And yes, although she was playing the Cruella character, really, if you think about it, if you look back, she was the Cruella, even though Emma Stone was. It was good that they didn't. I'm trying to think the way they didn't try and make her redeemable. Which going in, I was like, oh, they're gonna make her redeemable. They're gonna do can I just not admire someone because they're a hateful bitch? Like, we don't. Not everyone has to be nice. We can still enjoy people. So yes, I was very happy that they did that, and the movie was ridiculously camp. Like campness 1,000. So I was invested. It was mine. I loved it. I wanted it all. And I want the second one. Now.
All right. My number three pick is very different than all of yours. It's The Green Knight.
We're not surprised.
This also was my number one for the longest time. But I just absolutely love this movie. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of David Lowery, who did Pete's Dragon. He's doing Peter Pan and Wendy for Disney. But this movie reminded me a lot of his other movie, A Ghost Story, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And both of them kind of, when you watch it and you don't really know what you're expecting, you're not going to like it the first time. Like, the audience reviews for this movie are really bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or anything. People hated it. But the thing about this movie is the more it sits with you, the more you like it. Like, I was talking to some friends when I showed them this movie, and every day they'd be like, you know what? I actually like this movie more. I like this part of this movie. I appreciated this. Oh, I finally understood that. Sorry, a fire truck just zoomed by. But that's, I think, what's beautiful about this movie. Again, the cinematography was amazing. Dev Patel, I've never liked Dev Patel. I'm sorry, but he was really, really good in this movie. Alicia Vikander,
You should
Barry
watch British
Keoghan.
Skins.
British Skins? What is that? Oh, is that what Daniel Kaluuya was on?
Yes, Daniel Kaluuya was on it. Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah.
That's how they all became Romeo. I don't know how to say that surname. The one that was in Pirates.
I know.
In The Maze Runner. So that's all how they all got their big break. It was a program called Skins.
Okay.
And it was about British teens.
K.S.
That's why people like
Scodelario.
Dev Patel. That's it. That's why people like Dev Patel. But I don't think Hollywood ever gave Dev Patel a good role.
Until now,
according to you.
Until now. But yeah, again, if you haven't seen this movie, because I know a lot of people have, well, the box office was pretty good for it. But watch The Green Knight, watch A Ghost Story. Both of them are going to sit with you. Yes, they're a little long. Yes, they are a little boring, but it totally pays off in the end. So I love this movie. I love David Lowery. I'm excited for Peter Pan and Wendy. Number two. Who wants to go? Liam, go. Two.
I had a really difficult time between 2 and 1. I've wrote this list out 4 times so that I put it in the right order because I kept on flopping one and two around, depending on my mood. But currently, I'm hungover, and my mood put my number one in that place because of what it is. So number two is Promising Young Woman,
Ooh.
because Carey Mulligan was just top tier excellence in this film. As I said, I'm hungover, so the seriousness of it doesn't play well with my head right now, so that drops it down. But I think if I wasn't hungover, I probably would have put it back at number one.
Okay.
But shit happens. It was amazing. Soundtrack was on fire. The fact that they put Paris Hilton singing in a film touched my heart, because I fucking loved that song when it came out the first time around, because I'm old. So yeah, it just made my little gay heart happy. And Laverne Cox as well. I wish she'd get more role. Like, this just proves how funny she is, and she doesn't get enough stuff outside of doing Orange is the New Black. Yeah, which is obviously now gone. So
I do want to mention that I also really like Promising Young Woman, and although I don't really like Judas, I didn't consider any of the like Oscar awards movies for this year, so that's why none of them are on my list. But I am going to go next because, Liam, you brought up soundtracks, and this movie has a really good soundtrack. So my number two is The Suicide Squad. I loved this movie so much. It is so good. I went to go see it right before I moved, like literally a couple hours literally before my flight. And I moved halfway across the country. I loved it. I saw it again when I got here with my mom in 4D. I think James Gunn did a really good job with the directing. I think all of the characters were a lot more likable than they were the first time. And for some that were introduced, like King Shark and Polka Dot Man, like those characters were amazing. I loved how much the movie just didn't give a fuck and like showed you everything. Like, it was truly R-rated. It used an R rating, unlike some other movies that just have an R rating for fun. Which I appreciate. The soundtrack also was really good. Pete Davidson, if you give Pete Davidson a role, you're going to end up on my list. But yeah, it's just a really, really, really good movie, and I can't wait to see it again. So that's my number two. Destiny, what's your number two?
My number two is A Quiet Place Part 2.
Oh, okay.
I think you mostly said everything I liked about this movie, but I love this movie so much. I actually got to see this in theaters, and I loved it. It was a great experience. It reminded me of how much I love the first movie, and I don't know why I forgot, like, I like the first movie so much. But I just love, again, the sound design, the characters, even like the kids, and I usually don't like kids in movies like these. But I loved all the actors, and I liked how it was very contained, and it was also very smart in how it handled the monsters in ways that I would not think of. But I'm like, man, why did I think of that until the very last minute? So that's why it's my number two.
Awesome. And Constance, what's your number two?
All right. My number two is Free Guy.
Oh,
again,
okay.
All the things that I had in my review yesterday. I need happy in my life. It's a movie that the old me would never have even watched, because there's more movies than we have eyeballs to watch them all. And I'm like, it's not because I thought it would suck. I'm like, I just don't have time for movies that I think will be just okay. So yeah, Free Guy for joy. So
awesome. Liam took off his headphones. I don't know why.
I still haven't seen it, so I was like, I'm just going to take my headphones off just in case anything gets
out. Okay. Smart. All right. Well, let's do honorable mentions. Constance, you said Free Guy for number two. It was actually my honorable mention because I did not think this movie was going to be on my list, and then I saw it, but I already wrote my list and I didn't want to move anything, so that's why it was on there. But it was a really, really good movie for all the points you mentioned. And watch our spoiler review on YouTube for like our full thoughts, because I don't want to spoil it for poor Liam. Black Widow, also, I love this movie so much. You all know this. It is really, really good. It broke my heart that I couldn't put it on this list, but the opening credits alone deserve a spot on the list. they were that good. The action was good. Yelena Belova. I don't like Scarlett Johansson. She can go be a tree elsewhere, but she was really good in this movie. So that's on there. And then I have like, I cheated a little bit because I did groupings. So the Disney live action movies I thought this year were really good. So both Jungle Cruise and Cruella were really enjoyable, especially in a theater. And then I did the Warner Brothers movies, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat, and In the Heights, because I think all three are exactly the same, because they are both, all three of them are really, really fun. And they're really, really like big summary movies, but they all have the same story script problems. Like it's crazy how similar all three of them are, with the over too many characters and too long of a runtime and all that. So I think it really depends on your personal preference which one you like more, but if you look at them, they're all exactly the same. I like Godzilla vs. Kong more. You guys like In the Heights more, apparently. So those are my honorable mentions. Constance, what are your honorable mentions?
All right, I don't have too many. So it would be some of the movies that you guys have mentioned, like A Quiet Place Part 2 it would have just bumped In the Heights out. But what dictated this list was how many more times do I want to watch these movies? You know, like I want to watch that, but then I want to take a nice long break so that when I come back, it has that, you know. I was going to put I Care a Lot on here, and I didn't know how technical we wanted to be, because a lot of these were supposed to come out in 2020 and they came out now. And that one is still listed as a 2020 release because it came out at a festival of some sort. So I didn't know if I named that, you guys are like, hey, that's technically 2020. And I was like, I would have argued, well, I think a lot of these were supposed to be 2020.
Let's be honest, I'm the pissiest one here. I wouldn't have pushed you
through.
It
might be my real one. It might be the real number 5 then, but I Care a Lot. Again, In the Heights only beats it because I'm like, well, I want to revisit that before I want to revisit I Care a Lot, but that's very, very high on my list. So basically all the movies that you guys have mentioned that I have not would have been on my list, but that's the one I wanted. I'm like, oh, here's the different one. So There you go.
Cool. Liam?
So I'm with Constance. I Care a Lot was also I couldn't decide whether I wanted to put it in number 5 or honorable mentions. But then I thought, because of the soundtrack and because I continuously re-listen to the soundtrack, I am going to put In the Heights in there, and I Care a Lot in honorable mentions. Raya, I've put that as my honorable mention because I didn't want to have Mitchells and the Machines and Raya in there. And I just preferred Mitchell's over Raya, even though I thought Raya was still really good. Also Godzilla vs. Kong, as Yousef said. I can't believe I'm about to say. My main honorable mention that no one's mentioned is Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
Oh my god, I forgot about that movie. It was on my list for so long.
It's good. Just so ridiculous. I loved it so much. I was so happy with it. I was just kidding. This is so stupid, and I love it.
Yeah, that's my number 5. Screw Pig. Don't watch Pig. Watch Barb and Star. Yeah.
The whole when they're making up that woman on the plane, and they just given this, they just say a name and then just start making up a random life for this name, and then it turned. It was that country and western singer, the country music singer, wasn't it?
Reba
like, turned up as a Reba McEntire just turns up as a fucking mermaid. I was just gay. Oh, this is amazing.
It's really good. Yeah.
So stupid.
I'm glad you mentioned
there we go.
it.
That's me.
Yeah. All right. Destiny?
Okay, so I have 3 honorable mentions. My first one is actually In the Heights, because I do love In the Heights. I love the music. I love the directing. It just didn't make my top 5. This is a hard list to make. And then I have also Army of the Dead, because I love that movie. Maybe I'm biased this movie because it came out my birthday weekend, but I love this movie. I was so entertained watching this. And this list was so tough. Like, this would have made like maybe a top 10, top 15, but honorable mention here. And then my last honorable mention is the Suicide Squad. Black Widow actually edged it out to get number 5, so I made it an honorable mention. I love the Suicide Squad, honestly. I think it is very entertaining, a very like well-made movie. I love the characters, like put together so well. I would go rewatch it. So those are my honorable mentions for this list.
Awesome. Cool. I'm sorry, I still haven't seen Army of the Dead. Every time I want to watch it, and then I look at the runtime, and I'm like, I'll do it later, and then I forget. But I promise I'll watch it. I promise.
To be fair, it is good.
Okay.
It isn't
Leo.
just Snyder fans going like Snyder's amazing. It is actually a good film.
That's so funny, Liam. Oh my gosh.
Well, no, because there's now, unfortunately, there has become a connotation with, if you like a Snyder film, oh, you must be a Snyder cultist. And I think it is starting to.
Which I don't agree with.
Internet wise, I think that's starting to become a thing. I've noticed it.
We call ourselves Snyder cultists because it's funny to us. Everyone calls
It is.
Snyder
It
cultists.
is.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people on the internet who don't understand things like that and actually think it's real.
Mhm.
I mean, that's fans of any director, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just some people are idiots.
Okay.
All right. Liam, number 1.
My number 1 is Suicide Squad because I like dick jokes.
That's what I thought. Oh, that's all you have to
I
say?
like-
Okay. Oh,
No, I like violence. I like dirty jokes. I enjoy. Basically, it was well acted. It had good moment. It had like actual heartfelt moments. Like obviously, just the whole of Ratcatcher was the heart of the film, and she was amazing. And the only reason this film is top tier is because of Sebastian, and for Sebastian alone, this movie gets number 1.
We love Sebastian. He's adorable. All right. Constance?
Would you like a leaf?
Okay. I can't believe this is my number 1. Again, my former self would be like, who is this person? My number 1 is Cruella.
Whoa.
Now, and let me
Wow.
tell you why. My favorite villain of all time is Maleficent. I love her so much. And when I found out that they're making her own movie and they had Angelina Jolie as Cass, I was like, oh, that's perfect. I went and saw the movie and I hated it. I thought it was so bad. She was lovely, but I really did not like the movie. I'm sorry if you love it. I think I had this fantasy of what it was going to be in my head. And because I didn't get that, I let that cloud how I see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard they were making this, I was like, oh, good. It'll just be like that. My daughter loves Cruella and she begged me to go. And I was like, well, we're going to go because we're going to support movie theaters, because it was like the first movie that came to my theater. I was like, they're opening up. I got to show up to, support the theater. I went in there going, this will be like a C for me. Like, that's the grade I'm going to give it. I cannot believe how much I love this movie. This movie is just like, Liam said my exact words. I've been saying this to everyone. I've been trying to get everyone to go see this. I was like, they're deliciously evil. Those are exactly the words I used.
Hello. Ow, my knees cracked. Jesus Christ. Hello, editor Yousef, cutting in here to let you know that while we were recording, our Zoom cut out for some reason midway through Connie's sentence. And yeah, so there's going to be a cut. We have to resume on another Zoom call about 10-15 minutes later. So that's why our box orientations are different and why we may seem a little bit more frazzled. So that's why I wanted to come in here and apologize, because it's not really noticeable. Oh, hello. It's not really noticeable in the podcast, obviously, because that's a podcast, but it's noticeable when you see the video and stuff. So I wanted to explain myself. I am sorry. It's like 2 a.m. I'm really tired, but it looked weird and I wanted to tell you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for staying this long. Yeah, subscribe. Love you. Bye-bye. Good night. All right. So now my number 1. My number 1 technically isn't a movie. It's not like a narrative thing. But it did get a theatrical release, so I'm going to count
so
it.
douchey, isn't it?
I picked Bo Burnham's Inside. I really, really, really love the special. Was not expecting to love the special as much as I did. I didn't watch it when it first came on Netflix because I don't like things like this usually. And then obviously, TikTok, the sounds were all over my TikTok. It was like everywhere. And then they did the theatrical release, and I finally went to go see it after I saw Snake Eyes, interestingly enough. And good thing, because I needed to wash my mouth out or my eyes out, I guess. But it was really, really, really good. And it's not like your typical comedy special. It's very depressing, kind of. It makes you think about life. Like, there's a lot of interesting questions that he asks, and all of the songs obviously are iconic. The Jeffrey Bezos one, White Woman's Instagram, all of them are really, really good. So yeah, I think I would definitely recommend everybody to watch this. It's on Netflix. It's not super long. I think it's an hour, 15 minutes, something like that. And by the way, he did this all by himself during quarantine. Like, it made me feel so bad about myself that I wasn't able to achieve as much as him, because he like fully made this himself. The lighting was beautiful. Everything was really, really clever. And it's something that definitely sticks with you. Like, I haven't been able to watch it again just because I don't think I can like go through that again. But all of the songs stick with you, and all of the things he said and the messages stick with you. And like the ending, the last song, I listen to every night because it's that good. So that's my number one pick. I know it's not technically a movie, but there we go.
We'll grief you for it later. It's fine.
Okay, sounds good. Destiny.
Okay, so my number one. So since I am a self-proclaimed Snyder cultist, my number one is Zack Snyder's Justice League. We all knew it. We all knew it was gonna happen. I actually this has been on my number one for like ever, and I was gonna move it because I'm like, oh, should it be my number one? But honestly, it should. That's how I feel, because I just love this movie so much. And I know it's long and runtime, but to me, the runtime doesn't matter if the pacing is good. And to me, I never felt bored. Honestly, I watched it in one sitting the first time. And when I did have to pause to just take a bathroom break, I didn't even want to stop. And I think I've seen the Justice is Gray a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. And then the actual color version, I've seen too many times to count. I don't even know. So to me, it's very rewatchable. And again, like, I just love Zack Snyder's style, but at the same time, it's not just the style and aesthetics to me. I just love this movie because I really connect with the characters. The movie really moved me, and it's very like shocking. I know a lot of people will say, people who are really rooting for the Snyder Cut will say like, oh, we knew it was good, we knew it existed. I knew it existed, but I was super, super, super nervous about this movie. I'm like, oh crap, what if I was so excited for this and it was bad? But for me, it did not disappoint. God, I could go on all day about Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I won't. But what I could. Okay, but that's what I love. I love the characters, the style, the pacing felt good, and I like the way it was broken down. I know it was supposed to be a whole different release strategy with how it was going to come out, but that would have been complicated. So still, I think that worked. And oh my God, the music gets me every time. I still listen to the music every day. So I just love this movie.
Don't you dare apologize for that. I thought, again, before this year came around, I was like, oh, it's going to be Snyder Cut. It's going to be. Again, I'm very surprised. So you don't need to apologize for that. Yeah, DC. Thank God it was good.
Yeah.
Again, it's not that I can't handle a long movie. It's just, I have a daughter and I have a dog and all these things. So it's just so hard to give it the attention it deserves. Mm-hmm. But I don't want it to be shorter because there's so many good things. I'm like, well, what do you cut? There's a few things I would cut, but not much.
The
so
Icelandic singing woman.
Huh?
Oh my God.
The Icelandic singing woman.
Yes. So.
Got it.
So don't you apologize for making that your number one.
No, don't apologize. Like, I was never on the Restore the Snyder Bus train. I surprisingly, I'm an anarchist. So I was just get fuck you all, it doesn't exist. Obviously I didn't go around Twitter saying that. I just said it to Ben because it was funny to say. And it even impressed me And I fully went into it expecting to be like, it was too long, it was too boring. But no, it even impressed me. So it didn't make my list, and I didn't see the point in putting it in my honorable mentions, because there's people like you here that can hype that up yourself. You don't need me to be like, it's an honorable mention on my half. So yeah, I was pleased for all you, Snyder, like the people that, like you, who fully went along with it. It was extremely impressive to see that all your belief actually paid off for something, and it was refreshing.
Yeah. Wait, do we all cover number ones? No.
Yes, we've all
we
done
all
number
did.
ones. Oh, she's had a costume
Ooh.
change.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I can't
Still
wait
looks
for
like
next
David
year when we're all
Cassidy, though.
talking about the Ayer cut.
No.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, red box to that.
Yeah. I do also want to say though, before I leave, I do have to leave. So if you're watching the video version, that's why I've disappeared. I haven't died. Don't worry. Well, maybe, I don't know. It's too early to tell. But we're going to do Constance's game. But first, the Zack Snyder's Justice League, I did really like it. I had the same problem where I wanted to watch it again with somebody else, but it was the 4 hours that the other person just couldn't commit to that. But it was really good. And like Liam, like putting it on an honorable mentions list kind of feels disrespectful to me. Like I think it's better to just leave it off than to say, oh, it almost made it. Like, no, thank you. Okay, have fun. Goodbye.
Bye. Okay.
Oh my God, we are leaderless. Shall we go? Let's go rogue. He can't stop us.
We'll be okay. All right. So I was actually saving this game for the next time I hosted. So I made it a while ago because I mentioned, oh, but it's very musical heavy. And I was worried. I didn't know you guys well enough. I'm like, oh, unless they're not into this, but you guys were like, oh, we love musicals. But Destiny wasn't part of that conversation. So I want to verify. I'm like, Destiny, are you a fan of musicals?
Some. I'm not like a musical. I don't know a lot about. You mean Disney musicals, but not about all musicals. If that's what you mean.
Well, I mean like Broadway. You know.
Oh yeah. I know the classics.
Okay. Because I'm like, this game's only going to work if you guys know at least some. You know, I don't expect you to know all of them. That's what's going to make the game exciting, to see who knows what. So the idea is you have to guess what the musical is based on a very brief description that I'm going to give it. The idea is to give you a description in as few words as possible, like one sentence, right? So not a paragraph. Okay. All right. So do we want to do our classic, I say whatever, and when you think you know what it is, you just say your name? Do we want to do that style like how we usually do?
Let's just shout it out.
All right. So,
are you ready, Destiny? Better get loud.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I have 15 here, which is good. I wanted to make sure I had an odd number so that we didn't have any ties. You know? But then I thought, oh, we're going to have 3 people. We may not have a tie. And I'm like, oh, no, now we're down to 2. We might actually have a tie. All right. So again, I'm going to say, and don't feel like you have to say something right away unless you really, really feel short. It's okay to take a second and ponder. Just try to ponder out loud, since we are a podcast, right? We're always talking, right? Okay, so you ready? So again, it's a musical description. You're trying to guess what it is based on, and some of these are going to be easy, but some of these I try to do something really obscure. So they're not all going to be like, well, duh, it's this, right? We got to give it a little bit of pizzazz, right? Okay, ready?
Yeah.
All right, here's your first one. Farmers, cowboys, ballet. Oh my.
Oh, Liam. Oklahoma.
You are correct. So I'll give you a point. Let me write that down so I keep track. Okay. Number 2. Dance competition where the winner dies.
Dance competition where the winner dies.
Dance competition where the winner dies. What do you think that means?
I I don't. I'm trying to think like where people die. I can think of ones where they die, but I can't think of one with which includes a dance competition.
It's one interpretation. I said some of these are going to be really obscure, so the musicals are not, but how I'm describing them are.
Oh God.
Dance competition where the winner dies.
Liam.
Go ahead.
Moulin Rouge.
Nope. Destiny, do you want to just take a stab at it?
These are Broadway musicals, right?
Correct. They're all on Broadway at some point or another.
I do not know. Dance competition with the winner. Oh my God. I have no guesses for this.
All right, we can come back to it. Maybe if we go once we go around the horn and you get a sense of my style here, maybe you'll be like, oh, so we'll just leave that blank for right now. Okay.
Okay.
Number 3. Urban teen ends racism with dancing.
Wait, Destiny. Wait, but I don't know if it's a Broadway musical.
Go for it. Just go for it, Destiny.
Wait, you said urban teen ends racism with dancing.
Correct.
Wait, racism? Hold on.
I'm curious what you were going to say.
I thought of Footloose, but then I thought of West Side Story. So I don't know.
Neither of them are urban teens.
I know. That's what I realized.
I was like, has Save the Last Dance been a musical?
No.
I don't know musicals. Oh God.
Urban teen.
Urban teen ends racism with dancing.
Do we get clues if we ask for clues?
We could try that. Yeah.
Is it a newer musical? Like the last 10 years?
No, not in the last 10 years.
Oh God.
Last 20.
Oh God. Why is this so difficult? Oh God, thank God Anthony's not here though, because he would have just answered them all. Oh, good. Making my brain hurt.
You had a question, Destiny?
These are Broadway musicals, not just random. Okay.
Yeah, they have all appeared on Broadway at one point or another. Some are still on Broadway. None of them are too old. Oklahoma was the oldest one. The rest are newer than that. Well, we can come back to that one too.
Okay.
All right. I feel a little bit better about this next one. Okay. Avengers for fairy tale characters.
Avengers for fairy tale characters?
And I'll give you a clue right away. Like they assemble. So think of fairy tale characters that assemble.
Oh, Liam.
Go for it.
Shrek the musical?
Nope.
Oh.
That's a good that works for this too, but that's not what I was going for.
Okay. What's a musical that's had all the great
Where else do we see a lot of different fairy tale characters?
Oh, Liam.
Go for it.
Into the Woods.
You got it. That's the one I was going for. I'm really proud of this next one, but it is obscure. Not the show, but my description. Okay, number 5. IKEA the musical.
What?
Do you know what an IKEA is?
Swedish.
But do you know what IKEA? It's a large store. They sell furniture and other home items. Do you have them in the UK?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, oh no, I shouldn't be presumptuous. What if this is an American thing from Sweden, but in America?
What's a musical about furniture?
Or features?
Is it more about
furniture.
the store?
No.
Or what?
It's about furniture. Think of a musical that features a lot of furniture. What do you think that means?
Wait, Destiny.
Go for it.
Beauty and the Beast?
Yes, good job. See what I mean by I'm trying not to be too
okay.
Easy. Okay. This next one's easier, I think. You got one. All right.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, here's the next
I'm a fan
one.
of Broadway and I'm not getting these, Destiny. We're all good.
Okay. I think this next one's easy. Two men fight over a soprano.
Two. Oh.
Oh.
Love triangle.
Love triangle. That's right.
There's so many love triangles.
And there are other
Keyword-
love triangles.
Keyword soprano. Keyword soprano.
I don't know.
Liam.
Go for it.
Phantom.
You got it.
Oh.
I love my next one. Okay. Girl tries to find her dad, finds three.
Oh, Liam.
Go for it.
Mamma Mia.
Yep. You got it. Okay. Next, we're at number 8, just in case you're losing track of where we are. Cannibalism in London.
Liam.
Go for it.
Sweeney Todd. And the
Yes.
demon Barbara. Please.
There you go. Next we have You Stole Bread. I will chase you for 20 years.
Destiny. Layman.
Yes. Yay. She's coming back. Woohoo.
I'm not
All
gonna
right.
go back.
Hey, it's better than no points, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was such a good way of describing it.
I heard the bread. I didn't hear anything else.
All of these should have at least one key word. Okay. Next one. Woman with skin problem goes on a political rampage.
Skin problem.
Yeah, focus on that.
You said political rampage?
Yep.
And oh, good Lord.
Is this a recent musical? I don't know.
Within the last 20 years, yes.
Skin.
Yeah, focus on that.
Death. Liam. Death Becomes Her.
Nope.
It's not even a musical.
We can come back if we need to.
Yeah.
I'm oh, Liam.
Go for it.
You sneaky bitch. Wicked.
Yes.
Oh,
You're channeling me.
Man, I was envisioning a rash for some reason.
So was I. I was like, I don't know any musicals about eczema.
No, I was like, well, since her whole thing is her skin color, I'm like, I have to mention skin somehow.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. We got 1, 2, 3. We got 5 left. Okay. Man may or may not be holy. He dies.
Man may or not. Wait, what? Can you repeat that?
Man may or may not be holy. He dies.
May or may not.
Holy
be
with a
holy.
capital H.
So it's something religious.
Oh gosh.
It's a good word. I would focus on that.
Liam.
Go for it.
Book of Mormon.
No,
No.
but you're going in the right. Well, I don't know. Is that the right? The right theme. Let's put it that way.
Come on. Oh, this is really hurting my brain. Like I can't.
Oh, sorry.
It's no your fault. Like fantastic questions.
I have no guesses for this.
Can't think of any like other religious
But we'll come back. All right.
based.
4 left, and then we'll go around the horn again, just in case, maybe some space will help. Okay,
Yeah.
next one. Hamlet the musical with wildlife.
Oh, Liam.
Go for it.
Lion King.
Yes. I think you'll like this next one. Company goes belly up, recovers by making drag accessories.
Liam.
Go for it.
Kinky Boots.
Yes. I was so happy. I was like, yay, Liam's gonna be on the show. I gotta put this one in here. All right. Poor man is asked to change his ways by progressive daughters.
Oh God. I know this, but I don't remember the name.
What do you
Wait,
think?
Destiny.
Go for it.
Wait, is this Fiddler on the Roof?
Yes, it is. Good
Oh
job.
my gosh. That was the first play I ever even studied.
I've
Aw.
never seen Fiddler.
But see, the big song from that is "If I Were a Rich Man." So that's why I said
Mm.
poor man.
Yeah.
Hopefully, just I was like, oh, maybe.
I've heard the Gwen Stefani version.
All right, last one. Alien wants to take over the world. Starts with the dentist.
Liam,
Go for it.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, you got a lot of those. Do you want me to go back and do the ones that neither of you got?
Yeah, I'm starting.
Let's see.
I think I know your brain. So
Okay. All right, so the first one we missed was dance competition where the winner dies.
Liam,
Go for it.
West Side Story.
Nope.
The winner dies?
I
This is really open to interpretation. This is just one take.
Oh.
That's your hint. This is a show where if you were to ask the author what it's about, I don't think they could actually tell you. So this is very, I did expect this to be the hardest one of the bunch. And if you've seen this show and then someone says, oh, what's that about? I would love to hear everyone's explanation of what they think this show is about. Because it's just that loose, it's that abstract.
I do not know this.
Nope. All right.
shall we just decide to concede on this one?
Sure, we can do that. You want me to tell you the
Destiny?
answer?
Yeah. Wait, tell
Shall-
us the answer? Sure.
Shall we just put our hands up on this question?
Yeah.
All right.
guys.
Yeah.
Again, I knew this would be the hardest one. All right, it's cats.
Oh my God. I knew this was gonna be something obvious when I knew the answer. Oh my God, I can't believe that. I can't believe
Gets
I
taken
cannot
off on the
get
fucking balloon.
that.
That's one interpretation. I'm like, I don't know if it is a dance
Ah.
competition.
Wow.
I don't know if you really count that as dying. That's what I'm saying. This is a.
They were dying.
I watched a whole
Yeah.
documentary on this, and yeah, when Andrew Lloyd Webber was asked, "What is this about?" He's like, "It's about cats." I'm like, no, but what's the plot? He can't answer. Anyway, I knew that would be the hardest one. Okay, the next one we missed was urban teen ends racism with dancing.
The racism is getting me.
I think I figured it out.
Go for it.
Hairspray.
Yes, you got it.
Oh.
I mean, she doesn't really, but since
She doesn't. But I started figuring. The more we went on, I was like, "We're there. There is a very big one that she hasn't said yet." I was like, "Why hasn't she mentioned Hairspray?" And now, oh, fucking dance competition! Jesus Christ!
All right, let's see here. You only missed a couple. Let's see. I want to make sure. Oh, okay. The last one that you didn't get was man may or may not be holy. He dies.
Mhm.
And I'll give you a hint. By sheer accident, Liam actually just said it. Well,
Wait,
you said
what?
part of it. You just said part of it as you were mumbling. Like, oh, he just said it.
Liam, Jesus Christ
Yep.
Superstar.
Yep.
Oh, I was never gonna get that one.
All right, but you got 3 of them. So yay. This is a game, it's a shame that we've gone down to 3 or 4 people because I would have loved to have played this with like 7 people. I think that would have been crazy and fun. So, but that's my game. I have way more. I just decided to pick 15 of them. So we could always do another round on another day. Maybe
That
with
was-
certain individuals.
That was so difficult.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it was fun.
It really was fun. It really, really was. I feel ashamed that I didn't get some of them quicker.
I'm proud I just got 3. Proud of myself.
Out of 15,
Oh,
you know? You got 11 out of 15. That's really good. So.
At least I finally won, and they can't take this away from us. It's going on
Yes.
YouTube again.
This is
Fuck you,
documented.
Yousef.
It's forever.
Yes, Destiny, this is a running theme. Yousef decided the first time I ever won the quiz, he decided to remove the podcast from YouTube. And I've held it against him ever since.
Now it counts. It's official.
I'm
Haha.
a winner. Fine.
Yes. Oh, you're always a winner to me, Liam. Let's put that in the record books now. Constance says Liam is a winner. So
I
there you
have
go.
heard that. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's my game. Thanks for playing.
Thank you for having it. So our leader has left us. So I will wrap this up by standing up, plugging again. Remember, kids, we are on the red bubbles. There will be a link somewhere. There'll be a link on the YouTube video when this goes up. If you are listening to us on Spotify, hop over to our Twitter at the Council Pod, where we will tweet this out. People who are listening, there is going to be plans for merch, and you are going to love it. So thank you for joining us. Again, check us on Twitter at the Council Pod, on Instagram at the _Council Pod. We are also on TikTok at the Council Podcast as well. No, at the Council Pod again. And we are also on Facebook, which is just the The Council Podcast. We are going to be weekly again. So every Wednesday. Go over and check out one of our members' subpar ventures, the Horror Hour, if you would like to. They stole our Tuesday slot. We're allowed to be bitchy.
It does add some flavor.
It does. They're bitchy about us, it's fine. It's 3 gays talking about horror. Of course they're going to be bastards. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Thank you to Constance, and thank you to Destiny. So goodbye.
Bye.
Well, wasn't that just tons of fun? Thank you guys so much for watching. Click the pig in the middle to subscribe to this channel. Follow our socials, buy our merch, and check out our podcast, The Council. New episodes every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All of the links are in the description box.